If you're a temporary resident in South Africa, listen up. There is a critical rule being enforced right now that could totally derail your plans. So, in the next few minutes, we're going to break down this 60-day rule so you know exactly what's going on and, more importantly, how to protect your status.
Okay, let's just jump right in. Is your visa renewal at risk? And look, the unsettling answer is yeah, it might be, even if you have every single document perfectly in order. A simple timing mistake is catching so many people out, and today, we're going to make sure you are not one of them.
You know, that's not my phrase. That is a direct quote from immigration practitioners who are dealing with this every day. They're calling it the silent killer of applications for a reason. It's because people just don't see it coming. A perfectly good application can get rejected flat out for one simple reason. It was submitted too late. So let's start with the problem itself. Why are so many people who have done everything right with their paperwork, suddenly getting these shocking visa rejections?
Okay, and here's the thing you really need to understand. This is not some new law that just got passed. It's a rule that's been on the books for a while, but honestly, it wasn't always strictly enforced. Well, that has completely changed. Home Affairs is now coming down hard on this rule, which is leading to a massive wave of rejections based purely on the date of submission.
So, what is this rule that's causing all this chaos? Let's break it down, make it super simple so there is absolutely no confusion. This really says it all. The rule basically means that any application, whether you're renewing, extending, or changing your visa, has to be in the system at least 60 days before your current one expires. You've got to think of that 60-day mark like a brick wall. It is not a suggestion, it's a hard, non-negotiable deadline. And what's interesting here is just how wide-ranging this is. It doesn't matter if you're extending your work visa or maybe changing from a study visa to a work visa. The 60-day rule applies. Now you can see there's one tiny exception for people on super short-term visas, but for pretty much everyone else, that 60-day window is the law of the land.
So, okay, we got the rule. But why is this such a big deal right now? Well, being late isn't just a little administrative hiccup. As you're about to see, it can have some really serious consequences.
And this is where it gets scary. It's like a domino effect. If your application gets rejected for being late and then your current visa expires, boom, you are instantly considered an overstayer, unlawfully present in the country. And trust me, that can lead to bans and create huge problems for any future you might have planned in South Africa. All right, that's the scary part. It is serious. But here's the good news. It is 100% avoidable. So let's talk solutions. Here is your practical, proactive game plan to make sure this never, ever affects you. This number right here, this is probably the most important takeaway from this whole explainer. Forget 60 days. Don't even aim for it. You need to treat the 60-day mark as your absolute final drop-dead deadline. The smart move, the safe move, is to get your application submitted 90 to 120 days early. We're talking 3 to 4 months before it expires. And this timeline shows you exactly why you need that extra buffer. Getting things like police clearances, booking medicals, waiting on letters from employers, all of that stuff takes time. If you're only starting to think about this with, say, 70 days to go, you're already playing catch-up. Start 4 months out and you'll be able to breathe easy. But what if you're watching this right now and you're thinking, oh no, I'm already inside that 60-day window? Okay. First, don't panic, but you do need to act immediately, and you need to act smart. Here's exactly what you need to do. If you know you're late, you can't just throw your forms in and cross your fingers. You have to actually build a case for yourself. Get that application in as soon as humanly possible, but make sure you attach a formal letter explaining why you're late. And this is crucial. Back it up with proof. Screenshots of no available VFS appointments, emails showing document delays, anything that gives evidence for your case. So if that dreaded rejection letter does arrive, you're basically at a fork in the road with two very clear options, and that's it. You can either formally appeal the decision, or you have to make plans to leave South Africa before your current visa expires. There really is no third option if you want to avoid becoming an overstayer. And if you do decide to appeal, you've got to burn this number into your brain. 10. You have just 10 working days from the moment you get that rejection to file an appeal. That is an insanely tight turnaround, which means you have to make a decision almost instantly. All right, let's wrap this all up. We're going to run through a final checklist. These are the most important things you can do starting right now to protect yourself and your status in South Africa. Think of this as your game plan. Go put your expiry date in your calendar right now, with a reminder set for 4 months out. Start your prep early. Aim to submit with 3 months to spare. Document everything, every email, every appointment, and know your options if the worst happens. Seriously, these simple steps will save you so much stress down the line.
So I'm just going to leave you with one last question. Is your visa expiry date in your calendar right now, with a reminder set for 4 months before that date? If it's not, doing that is the single most important thing you can do today. Take control of this now, and don't let that silent killer sneak up on you.